Okay, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And, hey, before I start off, I highly advise you brothers to watch this video, man. It's what the founders really thought about race. It's from a channel called American Renaissance. And it was through the spirit that I had actually seen this video through the brother Rakaya Kwam. And a day I seen his video yesterday along with this one. Then I seen the Apostle Ramlah's video. Let me see. The white man Esau never saw you as equal. And in his video he was actually referring to this video as well. So I felt it spiritual, and I felt compelled to do a lesson on it. And what you see here I have on the screen, because just to give a brothers a synopsis, in this video it speaks about how the founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, I forgot I think maybe like the first 12 presidents or something like that of the United States, what they really thought about race. And what America pushes, or the society pushes, is that these guys were benevolent or good men. This quote that you see here says, "Nothing is more certainly written in the book of fate, than that these people are to be free." Talking about the African Americans, the so-called African Americans that were slaves at that time. So this man Thomas Jefferson, he's looked at as a benevolent guy. And that's what Esau pushes. He pushes he'll push the part of the quote, or the things that these presidents say, that may seem like they're good people, and then they push the fact, of course, that he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the so-called slaves, which he didn't even do that. Okay. But this video, going into this quote and other quotes that a president said, reveals that these devils never saw us as equal, as the Apostle Ramlah said. Now, I'm not going to play this video because I don't know, if they might flag me or something. But it says right here, going into that same quote, it says, "Nothing is more certainly written in the book of fate than that these people are to be free." All right. So that's the part that they write on the Jefferson Memorial over there in D.C. But this is the part that they left out that reveals the true intention of these devils. "Nor is it less certain than the two races equally free cannot live in the same government. Nature, habitat, opinion has drawn indelible lines of distinction between them." Okay? Which is true. Which is very true. Okay? And the scriptures say that how we're going to be separate in Jacob and Esau, because Jacob are your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians known today. And Esau is the so-called white man. And the scriptures speak about how we would be separated from Rebecca's womb. Okay? We're two different people, we're two manner of people. We were fighting in the womb, going to show you how we were never meant, all right, to be integrated, as that coon Martin Luther Queen says, man. All right? And this devil knows it, man. Ever since we've been side by side, it's been wars, all right? Jacob's been getting killed left and right, okay? It says, "Nor is it less certain than that the two races equally free cannot live in the same government." All right? And in that video, I know I'm giving it away, but hey, so be it. Brother, still go watch it. In that video, Thomas, the narrator explains that Thomas Jefferson, the reason why he wanted to free the slaves is to, have them go back into Africa. And that way we would never integrate. We would never intermingle. Okay? Which is, hey, I say the same thing, man. But because of the curses, which a lot of people like to scoff at, That's why we over here. Okay? That's why we over here to serve slavery, man. According to Deuteronomy 28:64 and down. Okay? We here to serve slavery. All right? So with that, I had wanted to get a few precepts going into how we should never trust our enemy. You know, because like I was saying before, of our people, all right, they like to believe that the so-called white man is benevolent, you know, according to the quotes that Esau gives them, which is half-assed, you know. You can't come to a conclusion of the story of any story if you don't hear the whole matter, you know. And Esau did that purposely. Okay, so I'm gonna get my first precept is First Maccabees chapter 1. I got it written down here. Well, it's in the Apocrypha. I was just reading it. In verse 23. Okay, so it says, he took also, just talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, okay, under the Seleucid dynasty, and after he took down Ptolemy, all right, he came to sack Jerusalem, you know, because Ptolemy was the king over that region of land at the time, over Egypt and, you know, Israel. Once Alexander the Creep died, and his 4 generals took over the whole known earth at the time. You know, if you read up, it'll actually go into the history. So this is First Maccabees 1:23. It says, he took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels also he took, the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Okay, so these devils speak very proudly, all right, taking our people down, man. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of woman was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. All right, so our people, they suffered a blow, man, just as they did during the time of Thomas Jefferson in slavery, man. All right, when they were getting their backs whipped, when Esau was really showing his horns. Okay, our women were getting raped and then given back to their husbands. Okay, Jake was getting lynched, burned, hung on crosses, hung on trees. So it says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah. You know, and as I was reading this, you really see how the devil is, man. You know, he gave him time to weep and mourn. You know, just speculating. He didn't come back right away. You know, he came back 2 years later, man. You know, so it says, probably figured they forgot about it or something. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. You know, so here you see, hey, he was, if it's like, I'm gonna just keep reading, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. And just reading it, just reading through the cracks. If he was so if he was speaking so peacefully, why did he come with so many people? If his intent was peacefully, going to show you that it wasn't. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, all right, which basically mean when Israel began to trust this devil, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. Okay? So this is what our people get for trusting in this society, man. here it is, our people still fighting for equality, you know, which they don't understand that it basically it goes deep, man. You know that slave mindset goes deep, man. Fighting for equality, okay? When all actuality, no equality never comes, man. Going into this guy Thomas Jefferson, I was just watching that just this video right here. It says the duality of Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, it is on one standpoint he was fighting a free slavery. Then on the other standpoint, he never. I mean, eventually, of course, he did. All right. Through the Proclamation, Salaki, the Emancipation Proclamation. All right, but it goes into how this guy is duality, basically meaning two. How he would say one thing and do another, man. In that video, it says that he only freed like 7 slaves. All right, he was harsh on the slaves, man. Well, they all were, but yeah, it just goes to show you what this guy's actual intentions were. Okay, and going to show you, like the scriptures say in Job, was it Job 20, that he's full of the sins of his youth. All right, speaking peacefully, but war was in his heart. Okay, and this is back in the time of what, the Greeks. Okay, this is back in the time. Yeah, this is back in the time of the Greeks, man. All right, fast forward and what? I would say maybe maybe like what, 2,000 plus years later, he's still doing the same shit under Thomas Jefferson. Okay. So with that, I had wanted to get this other one, where it speaks about another character that Jake, confides in and trusts in. All right. So this is why Hillary Clinton doesn't deserve the black vote. Because it goes into how, hey, it says right here, Hillary Clinton loves black people and black people love Hillary, or so it seems. Black politicians have lined up in droves to endorse her, eager to prove their loyalty to the Clintons in the hope that their faithfulness will be remembered and rewarded. Black pastors are opening their church doors and the Clintons are making themselves comfortably at home once again. Engaging effortlessly in all the usual rituals associated with courting the black vote, a pursuit that typically begins and ends with Democratic politicians making black people feel like and taken seriously. Doing something concrete to improve the conditions under which most black people live is generally not required. It says Hillary is looking to gain momentum on the campaign trail as the primaries move out of Iowa and New Hampshire into states like South Carolina, where large pockets of black voters can be found. According to some polls, she leads Bernie Sanders by as much as 60% among African Americans. It seems that we black people are her winning card, one that Hillary is eager to play. And it seems we're eager to get played again. Let me read that again. It seems that we black people are her winning card, one that Hillary is eager to play. And it seems we're eager to get played again. The love affair between black folks and the Clintons has been going on for a long time. It began back in '92 when Bill Clinton was running for president. He threw on some shades and played the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show. All right? Peep this, man. It seems silly in retrospect, but many of us fell for that. At a time when a popular slogan was, "It's a black thing," you wouldn't understand. Bill Clinton seemed to get us. When Toni Morrison dubbed him our first black president, we nodded our heads. We had our boy in the White House, or at least we thought we did. So it is Jake falling back to sleep, man. From Esau's old tricks. Black voters have been remarkably loyal to the Clinton for more than 25 years. It's true that we eventually lined up behind Barack Obama in 2008, but it's a measure of the Clinton allure that Hillary led Obama among black voters under until he started winning caucuses and primaries. Now Hillary is running again. This time she's facing a democratic socialist who promised a political revolution that will bring universal health care, a living wage, an end to rampant Wall Street greed, and the dismantling of the vast prison state, many of the same goals that Martin Luther King championed at the end of his life. Even so, black folks are sticking with the Clinton brand. I'm going to read a little more, Salakia. What have the Clintons done to earn such devotion? Did they take extreme political risks to defend the rights of African Americans? Did they courageously stand up to right-wing demagoguery about black communities? Did they help usher in a new era of hope and prosperity for neighborhoods devastated by deindustrialization, globalization, and the disappearance of work? No, quite the opposite. When Bill Clinton ran for president in 1992, urban black communities across America were suffered from economic collapse. Hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs had vanished as factories moved overseas in search of cheaper labor, a new plantation. Globalization and deindustrialization affected workers of all colors but hit African Americans particularly hard. Unemployment rates among young black men had quadrupled as the rate of industrial employment plummeted. Crime rates spiked in inner city communities that had been dependent on faculty jobs, while hopelessness, despair, and crack addiction swept neighborhoods that had once been solidly working class. Millions of black folks, many of whom had fled Jim Crow segregation in the South with the hope of obtaining deceit, work in northern factories, were suddenly trapped in racially segregated jobless ghettos. Hey, it's a lot to read, man, but brothers get the point, man. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but brothers get the point, man. All right, so I'm gonna read that First Maccabees 1 and what I stop at? Salakia 1 and 30. First Maccabees 1 and 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, when they trusted him, he fell suddenly upon him, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive, and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a strong hold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. All right, so the moral of the story is this right here. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So Esau Edom is your enemy, no matter how he's coming, man. Because 9 times out of 10, all right, or really 10 times out of 10, man, he's gonna come humbly. He's gonna come crouching like a lion. But beware. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take a heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his trust have not been altogether, that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So if those Israelites at that time, in the time of the Antiochus Epiphanes, if they would have remembered the BS that he did to them 2 years prior to, all right, just as today, if our people will remember slavery, and that's another thing. Our people say, well, that was in the past, let it go. Well, Esau ain't letting it go, If we would have remembered the past, we would understand, all right, our future or our present, rather, too. We understand not to trust our enemy, the so-called white man, all right, and to As he thinks of us, think of him that way, man. You know? You know? So it says, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand in thy place. Okay? And we see that in what? In the book of the first Maccabees. All right? He put his own people in our land. That's him standing in our place. And Esau do that today, man. You know? Put us in slavery and then put his people, the Amalekites, in our place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Okay? And now our people, they starting to see that this devil don't like him, man. You know? Getting shot down aimlessly by the police and getting away with it. All right? Even though it's on camera that they're clearly guilty. Okay? You know? Hey, they even try to protest, man, but that shit ain't work. They gotta basically, like the dude Jordan Lucas said, protesting against my protest. That shit is crazy. He said something to that extent. You know? Going into that song, I'm Not Racist. That's a good song, man. But anyway, you know, that's what Esau does, man. Because he hates you, Jakes. Esau never saw you, Jakes, as equal, man. You know, he just used you to get what he can get out of you. He just used basically Jake to get what he can get out of him. All right, and then threw him to the side, man, like an old pair of shoes. Okay, really like a hooker, man. You know. You sleep with a hooker, what? You know, get your shit off, keep it moving, man. You don't call her, you don't think about it. You know. Hey, really, you want to just get the fuck out of there after you finish getting your shit off. You know. This is Damn, I was gonna get another one, but oh yeah, Psalms 55 verse start 21. Actually, I'm gonna start at 20. 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such that it be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? So that's Esau Edom, man. Beware of the beast. Beware of the wicked. You know, the Most High called him the son of the wicked, man. Hey, the Most High knew Esau was selling wolf tickets, man. This is real quick, Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You know, so even the Most High knew, hey, Esau, nah, you ain't getting this heavenly blessing. You gonna stay being the devil. All right, hey, you're gonna be a profane. You know, so Esau was, you know, he was he wasn't right from the womb, man. You know, and he playing his lot, man, being a devil. So hey, just know that this man is a devil. He's gonna continue to be being a devil. The devil. All right, the scriptures prophesy of him fighting the Most High, man. All right, well, he's gonna fight the Most High Son, Yahweh, man. He's gonna fight the angels, man. He's pompous, he's proud, he's a devil, he's a fornicator, man. He's profane. You know, so set him not by thee. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, you occupy and edify. Shalom to the elect.